I was going to start off by speaking a wee bit about Mind Control.
Mind
It was
Control?
the second last single that came out.
Aye.
When would you say was the last time you felt out of control?
Probably yesterday, mate, to be honest. I feel out of control roughly every day. Never fucking in control, know what I mean? But, aye.
As people like living in the UK, like in 2020, how often do you think we're in control? How much kind of control do you think we have? Or do you think how often
As the public, or
just as a person, how often do you think people are like on autopilot? And much
probably
freedom?
quite a fucking lot, man, especially right now. There's absolutely fuck all we can do, nobody knows anything. And to be honest with you, we need to fucking blame the politicians for that one. But, again, they're just a bunch of fucking fannies as well. Not got a clue what they're doing. And I wish somebody would just come out and fucking tell us the truth. And just say, listen, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. But nobody does that. So we're stuck.
Have you noticed that coming through like in the music you've been writing recently? That kind of
We've been trying to write recently, but just obviously because of this whole fucking situation, man, it's just so uninspiring. Do you know what I mean? So the writing process has been a bit kind of slowed down as well, but still kind of chip my way at it, try to get anything that we can out and wrote. So, aye.
Is it kind of similar to stuff you've written previously in terms of lyrically and thematically, or is it?
I think it's starting to evolve and change a wee bit, especially with kind of it's becoming a bit more aggressive again. I know the stuff that we did put was kind of obviously quite edgy and stuff like that, but I think coming out of lockdown as well, it's getting fucking worse, man. It's getting worse. So the music is reflecting that.
How does it affect your understanding of those things we've kind of been speaking about and the way that you're thinking and feeling about them? Like putting it into music and tackling it in that way?
I think putting it into music's it's difficult because you know that more or less every piece of music that's going to come out of this is going to reflect on what's happened. So trying to kind of get our own perspective on it is got to be challenging, but we'll get there. And was that the right? Did I answer the right question? Yeah.
I remember last time we did an interview as well, we were speaking about Whiteout and how that was kind of written at quite a personal experience, quite an individual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas those topics we've just been speaking about are kind of broader things that are affecting everyone. How is there a difference when you approach something that is, quite personal and intimate and quite a singular experience compared to when you're tackling something that's affecting everyone?
Well, I think with my kind of writing style as well, I tend to kind of divert off into loads of different branches. So the personal side always does come into every kind of song that we write. But tackling the bigger issues, I tend to kind of just put maybe 3, 4, 5 lines to try and cover all the bases, and then the personal stuff will always kind of find its way migrating into it. So,
I remember again with the last interview what we were speaking about with Whiteout. It was, you said that after that you kind of found you had more of an idea of what you were kind of writing past the EP.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think there were any advantages that came from a slight uncertainty in your songwriting previous to it, and that kind of finding your feet? Is there anything that comes from that that's an advantage to the music?
I think so, because we weren't really stuck to one kind of thing. It expanded out. So I think coming from the Whiteout in the first EP, it's kind of, we didn't want to stick to that type of music. So I think it evolved again into something else, and it's becoming a lot darker, a lot kind of heavier, if you will. So.
How do you notice something's changing? At what point in the kind of process do you think, this is going to be moving in a slightly different direction? And what are the kind of signs that it's doing that?
I don't think we don't do it kind of obviously. It just kind of, it's one of the things that just kind of happens. Do you know what I mean? And I think the writing does come into that as well. If we're going to write something that's kind of upbeat and not tackling it, then I think the music will reflect that as well. So when you're writing that way, the music will kind of become darker, become heavier, become a bit more on the kind of darker side, if you will.
So is it always like the topics lyrically that are kind of driving where the sound of it's going?
Definitely, aye, definitely. But for us anyway, it's always topical. It's always kind of, I try and tackle bigger things with writing. So aye, that does kind of.
Yeah. How do you think you would express yourself if you'd never made music? If you didn't have this outlet?
Oh fuck! Well, aye, I'd probably smash my head against a fucking brick wall somewhere. But I do a lot of different things. I've always been quite artistic as well, so I've always had that outlet of painting, you know what I mean, drawing stuff like that. So I would probably be doing more of that. But obviously this takes up a whole lot of time. So, and it's good. It's a good thing to get stuck into, man, because it's when you come in, even if you're just in for a practice, see when you leave, you feel vented. You feel as if everything's came out and you're relaxed. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good outlet in that sense.
So did you paint and draw and stuff before you came to music, or was music your first kind of means of self-expression?
I was probably, they both happened kind of at the same time. I was always kind of into like painting and drawing and stuff when I was at school, but music kind of happened maybe like the year I left school, and I was writing my own stuff, but then I never actually got into a band until I was 22, 23. So there was a lot of that kind of different creative outlet up until the music started, and then when the music started, then that kind of took the back seat. So
That feeling you mentioned as well, where you get, like when you say, you leave the practice room and you feel like a weight's kind of been lifted. Did you get that when you were painting and stuff, or is that a kind of different feeling when it's music?
it's a completely different outlet, and I think the reason it is because, especially with the type of music that we play, it's energetic, constantly shouting, screaming, you're sweating at the end of every practice. Do you know what I mean? So in that sense, it's more a kind of physical outlet as well as a kind of creative outlet.
Yeah, it's kind of joining the two.
Aye, definitely.
What would you say rebellion means to you in terms of music? What does rebellion in music look like now in 2020?
Rebellion music. I would say rebellion music is more just kind of writing what you feel like writing. Do you know what I mean? And not keeping yourself contained. Rebellion music is giving yourself the chance to express yourself in any way that you fucking want. Do you know what I mean? Don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to anybody telling you how to write music or how to produce music. Or it's just completely keeping it you and doing it whatever way you want.
At what point did you feel like you were able to do that in your music? Has that always been present from the beginning, or?
I think probably from the beginning when I was younger and I was writing, I was probably not writing as that kind of hardcore style that we kind of do. So definitely, I'd say that. Fuck knows, I don't even know. Fuck knows. I forgot what I was talking about.
With the kind of impact your music has as well,
Mm.
and the way it kind of hits people and affects them,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel people are more kind of resonating with the words or the sound of it? What do you think it is that's impacting and affecting them more?
I don't know. I think it's because I write the songs. I'm not really that focused on what people are thinking in terms of the music, because I know what it is and it's already there. It's hard to kind of look at how other people view it, if that makes sense. It's always good when people are singing your words back to you and stuff like that. That's classic. Like, that'll never get fucking better. It's the biggest compliment in terms of writing music. Do you know what I mean? When people are enjoying it and can sing it back to you. But I don't know how other people view it, but for me, it's more the sound than the words that are in the music. I think you get a lot more from a sound than you do a word. That makes sense. It gives you a different feeling. But apart from that, I don't really know.
Is that what's getting you when you're coming up with the sounds and looking for them? Is it kind of searching for that kind of sense of feeling that you're speaking about there?
Aye, definitely. Because I think when you find, it can just be like one note. You know what I mean? One note can change a whole fucking song. You know what I mean? And I think we search for that as a band when we're playing together, we're practicing, we're writing. There's always we'll have something set out, and there could just be one note that will completely change it and make it a better song, for me, anyway. And I don't think the words that I'm writing will impact that, do you know what I mean? Because the words that I'm writing are going to still be the same regardless. So I think the sound probably gives that effect. You know what I mean?
I mean, when it comes back to what we were kind of speaking about at the start of this interview as well, and this year as a whole, and the kind of topics that can generate in your music, as a result of the kind of lockdown, it's exposed, you know, quite a lot of things in regards to politics, like you've seen at the beginning, and a lot of injustices. What do you feel is the kind of biggest thing that's been exposed as a result of 2020 and
The biggest what, sorry?
the kind of biggest issue that's been exposed as a result of 2020 and the pandemic?
Again, what I was saying about politicians and how they're fucking useless. And I just don't think there should be another way to deal with it without going through these people. Because they're just fucking lying to us. At the end of the day, they're lying. And they're kidding on, they know what they're talking about when they fucking don't. Nobody knows. It's a fucking pandemic, do you know what I mean? And they are... and they're, like you say, they're keeping us locked in, do you know what I mean? And I understand that there's a reason for that, but when they don't know the fucking reason themselves, then we can't expect to follow their lead, you know what I mean? But it's... But aye, at the same time, it's fucked. It's all fucked. But hopefully, when it all blows over, we'll come back stronger. As like the music scene as a whole, we'll come back stronger. I think, especially with the fact that they're telling people to go out, find new jobs. It's just going to make people angry, and it's going to push people to want to get. Everybody likes to do things that they're told not to do. Do you know what I mean? So when they're told you can't make music anymore, essentially, they're just going to want to do it even more. And I think there'll be a big impact in the music scene in a good way when it all eventually comes back into focus. So looking forward to that.
And that's a nice optimistic note to end it up on.
What's that?
And that's a nice optimistic note to end it
Definitely.
on. Thanks very much, man.
No, easy. Jazz.